The Color Matrix. World 20. Loki's Little Prisoner. I stared at the Color Matrix console, rather confused. Mark, the Red Corner Stranger, had entered a new universe. Normally, he'd only stay in the universe for a couple of minutes for me. No matter how long Mark actually stayed there, though, he could live in a universe for a whole year and then move on. But to me, it'd only be a couple of minutes. But this time round, Mark hadn't moved on at all. He was completely stagnant. It'd almost been a whole hour. Then eventually, I saw the little red dot symbolizing Mark leave the universe and move on. This piqued my interest, so I decided to load the universe into the Matrix. I walked over to the table, stripped off my shirt, and laid down, and the needles punctured the back of my neck and my fingertips. I then waited for Daisy to speak, yet she did not. I was about to call out the AI's name, but I was forced into a state of unconsciousness. I opened my eyes. I felt groggy. My head hurt. My eyes took a moment to focus. I looked around and I saw bars, metal bars in front of me. I looked around the room. I was on the floor, propped against a stone wall, and a bed sat beside me. I felt weak, like my body had been drained almost. I looked through the bars of the prison cell, and before me stood a tall, handsome man. He was draped in green and gold clothes and a strange and fancy walking stick in hand. "Hello, Ace. That is your name, isn't it?" the man said. Yeah, I muttered. I had suddenly realized how thirsty I was. My mouth was dry and my tongue felt like sandpaper. Now here's the thing, Ace. I have walked through the multiverse many times. I have seen many different power sources, and I've seen many variants of people, including yourself. But you're different. You read different. Now, of course, every single Ace I have seen would in fact be different, even if the changes are minor. And yet, every single one of you, have something in common. For a short period of time, you have this glint in your eyes, like if someone was behind those eyes. Like if there was more to you, and I want to know what's going on, the man explained. Wait, is that why I'm here? You want information? I questioned. Yes, I always get what I want, the man sneered. I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't even know who you are, I growled. My name is Loki. I'm the god of mischief, and you, Ace, are not going anywhere till I find out what I want to know, the man hissed. Then he turned around, faded away as he did, disappearing from sight. I tried to call out to him, but I could barely move. I was numb and tingly. Was he truly the god of mischief, I thought to myself? I managed to drag myself over to the bed, and with the very little strength I had, I managed to hoist myself up onto the bed itself, and I laid down. It was extremely uncomfortable, but it did well enough. I dozed off to sleep. My mind started off black and empty, nothing, and then my memory started flooding back to me. I was fighting a strange monster known as an orc, an eel-themed monster who ate electricity and dispersed it into lightning attacks. My team and I had to fight off the foot soldiers known as putreds first. Then we decided to morph. The three of us pulled out our ground morphers, flipped them open, and we morphed into the red Wild Force Ranger, the yellow Wild Force Ranger, and I morphed into the blue Wild Force Ranger. I pulled out my crystal saber and I started slashing the monster. He managed to grab me and send a surge of electricity through me, sparks exploding off my suit, and I was thrown. I hit the floor rather hard. The Yellow Ranger managed to help me to my feet. As I watched our leader summon his Lion Blaster and fire it, multiple blasts hit the eel monster. Myself and the Yellow Ranger ran at the beast, both us jumping up and kicking the monster. It stumbled back, then it sent a blast of pure raw electricity which hit all three of us. We were thrown off our feet, and as we stood, we looked around and realized the monster had gone. As we demorphed, I stood there listening to our leader telling us the plan to deal with the eel org, but I suddenly felt woozy, groggy, fuzzy. I then passed out. I could feel both my teammates catch me as I fainted. I woke up feeling a little better. I could move on my own with some strength. I sat up and sighed as my prison cell stared back at me. My memory-filled dream came back to me, and I quickly searched my pockets and I pulled out my animal crystal. The blue crystal shimmered in the light that came from outside my cell. The shark inside of the crystal gave me some comfort. I stood and walked around my cell. My muscles argued back at me, as the basic motion of taking a step had not happened in a few days, and the instant motion woke up all my nerve endings in my legs. Loki suddenly appeared in front of my cell. Are you ready to explain yourself, Ace? He asked. I have no idea what you're talking about. You're making no sense, I argued with him. Your eyes right now do not belong to you. Someone else is there. My first thought were maybe you're possessed. Maybe you're supernatural. Maybe it's something like a Jinjuriki or a host of some kind. Maybe it's a remnant of chaos magic or the Force. But no, it's nothing of the sort. I am confused, and I do not like being in the realm of the unknown. I want to know, Ace, who is behind your eyes? Who's watching me talk to you? Loki ordered. I stood there not knowing what on earth Loki was talking about. My mouth hung open, ready to argue, but no words actually came out. Loki stared at me, waiting. Then his posture changed. He stood tall and smiled at me. Tomorrow, if you're not willing to answer me, I will find out by different methods, Loki threatened, and once again he faded away. I paced my cell over and over again, trying to figure out what on earth the God of Mischief was talking about. After a while, in a puff of green smoke, a tray appeared on the floor. There was some bread on a plate, only a couple slices, but they were buttered, some strawberries, and a steaming cup of coffee. Next to the food was a large bowl of water and a few towels. I dropped to my knees in front of the tray, and I took a bite of the sliced bread. I appreciated the butter that was spread on it for the flavour. I bit into the strawberry, and the juicy fruit exploded into my mouth. The juice not only moistened my mouth, but also awoken my taste buds. I devoured the food, and I drank the whole cup of coffee rather quickly. The temperature was in the perfect balance, between being steaming hot, that it would burn, but also warm enough that it's drinkable. It wasn't great, because it was coffee, but it was fine. I then removed my shirt and I dipped the towel into the bowl. The water was warm and it felt nice to be able to remove the sweat that clung onto my skin whilst I was sleeping. I then stopped and looked into the bowl of water, my reflection looking back at me. My eyes were unnatural. They were greyish tinged to my pupils. And when I looked deep into my reflection, it was like I was staring at someone else. I questioned the questions Loki was asking, and I started to doubt myself. And I considered what Loki was saying. I managed to get some sleep. I slept better than the night before. Not that I knew whether it was day or night. Loki was there standing in my cell by the time I woke up. I stood quickly and my body reacted fast, like it was on the defensive. Loki had once again asked for the information I did not have. He aimed his walking stick, which shimmered in a gold and green aura, shifting into a staff. A surge of energy blasted from the tip, which hit me directly in the chest, sending me flying into the wall. His staff glowed as I floated off the ground, my arms and legs spread apart. I felt like I was being torn in two. I will happily torture you for the answers, Loki hissed. Yes, but I don't know, I grunted. Loki increased the power. My body ached in a way I had never experienced. But then, before Loki could ask me the same question yet again, someone appeared before him, separating myself to the God of Mischief. He was a smartly dressed man in a white suit with a pair of glasses. He looked behind his shoulder and looking at me with an expression not amused. Loki, this man is out of bounds, the man said. Mr. Pocket, I was not expecting to see you here, Loki quivered. Whoever this man was made Loki nervous. Ace is one of mine, he works with me, and he is none of your concern, the one known as Mr. Pocket snapped. I am sorry, Loki bowed. Send this one back to wherever he came from, and carry on working on the Red Cornish Ranger. He's about to land in your lap, so be prepared, Mr. Pocket hissed. Then there was a white light that engulfed the prison cell. I opened my eyes, and I was laying on the bed on the animarium. Princess Shayla ran over to me, her face painted with worry. Before she could speak, everything went dark. I woke up and climbed out of bed. Mr. Pocket stood there analysing the colour matrix console. I stood and walked over to him as I put my shirt back on. I apologise for Loki, he's an animal, Mr. Pocket said without breaking his gaze. It's fine, I muttered. You have to be more careful, Ace. Eventually, someone more calculated, more experienced, and more dangerous will find you. One version of you, and I won't be able to bail you out next time, Mr. Pocket told me. Yeah, I get it, I hissed. I started getting sick of the champion collectors within the mysteries treating me like a kid. I wasn't even a child. I was a mystery as well. 22 years of age, trusted with exploring the multiverse with a device that was powerful and dangerous in the wrong hands. I won't tell the boss if you don't, Mr. Pocket stated, breaking my thought pattern. Thanks? I sighed. Mr. Pocket walked away, a portal opened before him and he walked through it. As the portal closed, I was once again alone. The Color Matrix console sat before me. I sat down and called out Daisy's name, and I was met with no response.